Acquisition is one of three major pillars of growth, along with retention and engagement. While they are often considered two separate phases of your customer journey, they are very closely related. This course will discuss analytical strategies for both. Acquisition metrics track how many new users are discovering your product and where they're coming from. Activation metrics track how well new users are learning to use your product and getting value. We can break down acquisition and activation further into different stages. The acquisition phase typically comprises a new visitor becoming aware of your product for the first time, and after several touch points, eventually signing up. Once they become a new user, we're officially in the activation phase. Depending on your product, activation and onboarding could be considered the same thing. This stage is about setting up a new user for success, maybe by guiding them through an in-product tour or a series of steps to curate their product experience. During activation, there is usually an aha moment for the new user where they first discover value in your product. The activation phase continues as a new user develops habits that lead them to repeatedly realizing the value of your product. At each step of the customer journey, you can leverage Amplitude to measure the metrics that matter for your acquisition and activation, and investigate the user behaviors behind them. This course will introduce you to a strategic loop you can use to optimize your acquisition and activation strategy. First, we'll walk through a handful of metrics that matter for acquisition and activation, and how to measure them in Amplitude. Then we'll dig deeper into those metrics to uncover interesting trends and possible growth opportunities. Next, we'll use those insights to develop a hypothesis about our users and come up with a possible tactic to improve our acquisition and activation numbers. And finally, we'll bring it back to Amplitude to measure the impact of our strategy on our metrics.